And this time, let us have the icebreaker. The icebreaker is entitled Let's Play Rebus. Okay, Rebus is a puzzle in which words are represented by combination of pictures and or individual letters. Okay, so I will give you 5 seconds to answer. So how are you going to answer? Just type in your answer in the You're just going to answer it in 5 seconds. You just have to type your answer in the comment section or in our chat box. Okay, I will ask Sir Archit, please, sir, kindly check who's the first one to answer or to type in her or his answer. Okay, are you ready? I think you're all ready. So let's start. Okay, so you just have to guess the common words or phrases using the series of picture clues. Let's begin. This is the first word. This is the first phrase. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And the correct answer there is research. Next. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the correct answer there is data. Okay, data. Next, guess the phrase. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is research question. Last one. Guess the phrase. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the correct answer there is research methodologies. Wow. A round of a round of applause for you, classmates, and you're so good in answering. So let us have here for true success. Ask yourself why these 4 questions. With these 4 questions, why? Why not? Why not me? And why not now? And it is according to James Allen, a British author. So let's tingle this. Okay? Let's proceed. The topic that I'm going to discuss is all about research. So, as you all know, the Rebus game that we had earlier is related, or all the words there are related to my topic. So, I am Mary Ann Palima. I am Maid SPED Area 5, and this is my topic. The objectives at the end of the session, we will be able to first, we will be able to define research, then know the fundamentals of research, and evaluate its importance and its implication to our daily lives and in education. What is research? The word research comes from the French word recherche, which means search in depth and to investigate thoroughly. When you were stuck in a place that you are not familiar with, I know for sure the very first thing you'll do is to get your phone And open your data and open or search for a nearest restaurant in the area, right? For example, you want to know also the the background of a certain person, the background of a famous one, a famous person. What's the first thing you will do? Of course, go to Uncle Google. Okay? We'll go to Google, we'll open our phone, search in there who, what is, or what is all about the person. Am I right? Yes. Let's say, for example, you want to know what's the um, ingredients of making cookies. Immediately, we'll rush or we will search in our cell phone. We will search in the internet. Or maybe if you have some books or cooking books, we will open it and read. What else? Let's say, for example, if you want to know what is the most populous country in the world today, as of today. Okay, so immediately also you will go to Google or the internet to search for the very to search to search it, right? So everything now in our daily lives we do researching. We do searching. But of course, it is a form of um, quote unquote informal. But we are not aware that it's a research. It's a research. We're doing research. Okay? The word research comes from re, meaning again and again, and search, that means to find out something. And it's from Nayak JK et al. 2021. Okay, so the prefix re meaning again and again. We will do the thing again and again. And search, find out something. So that's research. Okay, look at the screen. According to Nayak J et al. Pa rin, the person will observes the person observes again and again about the phenomena. So there is the collection of data, the analysis of data, and will draw conclusions. So that is research according to Nayak J et al. Also. Then we have here from Dong Wok Sung. He is a writer, a famous writer, Korean writer. According to him, research is defined as the creation of new knowledge and or the use of existing knowledge in a new and creative way so as to generate new concepts, methodologies, and understanding. So, creation of new knowledge. You want to explore something, then you are researching. If you want to study further with the existing creation, then that is researching. The definition. According also to the definition, the word research seeks to gather and assimilate information on a particular topic. Just like we do. Um, we we um, we choose our topic. We choose the problem that we are going to research or make a is further study, and then we assimilate information. According to Zora Neale Hurston, she said, research is formalized curiosity. O, di ba? Like, you are curious about something, Google it. You're curious, what is the composition of the atmosphere? What is the composition of clouds? Okay? So, what we immediately do is to search. And it is formal siya because we do it in process. follow steps. Okay? And we write it down. That made it, that is why it is formal. Research methodology, in his book, Research Methodology, according to C.R. Kathari, he defined research as a scientific and systematic search for relevant information on a specific topic. Scientific and systematic because we do it in process. We have to do a step-by-step process because we cannot jump into conclusion without um, interviewing the participants or let the respondents answer our questionnaire or survey questionnaires. Okay. According also to John W. Creswell, he said that research is a process that steps used to collect and analyze information to increase our understanding a topic about the topic or issue. Steps, process. Okay. Lastly, according to Oxford Dictionary, it defines research as the systematic investigation into the study of materials and sources to establish facts and reach new conclusions. Again, systematic investigation. And into the source of materials that are that are truthful and that are reliable. So why research is important? Why research is important? Of course, first, it facilitates effective management. Okay? Also, for effective decision making. Let's say, for example, in the context of being a manager or a principal, a school head, we will not just impose guidelines or policies without proof of study that says that thing is not effective or not. Okay? Let's say, for example, the recently made by our VP Sarah. What did she do? Okay? Sabi niya, sa order niya, you have to remove all the posters inside the classroom. And hindi lang siya nagsabi noon without basis, okay? Hindi lang siya nag-decide noon without basis, okay? There is a research na nagpapatunay that really posters inside a classroom will somehow affects the learning of the students. Then the last one, to improve research procedures through the refinement and extension of knowledge. Okay, kung may mga existing researches and halimbawa may mga, let's say for example, with the dengue. The dengue is not yet, there's no medicine yet for dengue that really cures it. But the doctors or research scientists are continuing to do the research para talagang magkaroon pa ng knowledge kung ano ba talaga yung dapat o ano ang mga component ng isang gamot to fight that disease. The features of research. Okay? The research starts with a problem and presented in the question. Second, research attempts to identify problems stated in clear, unambiguous terms. Meaning, yung mga hindi um, out of this world na mga terms, yung common terms lang. Okay? Third, research deals with facts and their meaning. Di pwedeng guni-guni mo lang. Di pwedeng may, sabi-sabi lang o hearsay. Dapat factual. Then fourth, research seeks directions through appropriate hypothesis and draws upon apparent assumptions. Meron ka ng hypothesis. Meron ka ng parang patutunguhan ng yung research. You have the hypothesis or the guess, okay? But and yun yung guide mo in pursuing the research. Number five, research requires a plan. It categorizes aims, objectives, and key questions. So, if you have a research, you know what is the aim or the objective and what are the questions. Next, research deals with the primary problem through appropriate subproblems. Deals with the primary problem through appropriate subproblems. May mga subproblem. May mga katanungan pa. Okay, if you have the question na um, why the students are why the students are performing poorly. So there is an underlying questions pa there why students are doing poorly or not they're not performing well. So may mga questions pa doon. Okay, may mga kalikip pa ng mga questions. Next, so the objectives of research is first to find out the reality and facts which are unknown. Okay, based on the previous studies or based from the reality. Okay, and also it aims expresses the intention or aspiration of the research study. It expresses the intention or aspiration. Okay, so another is to explore a new idea and to gain insights into the occurrence of a phenomenon. Then, to understand the characteristics of an individual's situation or event correctly and with accuracy. Types of research. We have two: basic research and applied research. Okay, when we talk of basic research, it is also called as fundamental research, driven by a scientist's curiosity. So, the curiosity of a scientist or a researcher to expand knowledge and not to invent. Okay? The purpose and objective of this category is to present assimilated knowledge in an organized form which may eventually be shared and put to use by others. Okay? If you just want to simply know or investigate why the students are not doing well or why or what is the effectivity or how the gadgets affects the students performance, so that is basic research. You're just curious. While on the other hand, when we talk of applied research, it is designed to solve practical problems rather than to gain knowledge. It aims to prove a specific hypothesis of value to clients paying for their research. And it is on testing out facts and association via presenting data. Okay, so it is face to face, which was the focus of primary research. Okay, applied research. goes to people who really want to, let's say for example, create or solve a problem about um, about the dengue. So they are doing this research to really find a solution or medicine to heal dengue. So if you are that person, then you're doing applied research. Just look at the picture, the simplified simplified comparison of basic research and applied research. Its intention, the basic research intention is to expand general knowledge of process, while the applied research is to improve the understanding of a particular problem. And for the result, for basic research, it's universal principles, while on the applied research, it's a solution to a particular problem. Take note that basic research is also known as fundamental research, theoretical research, and pure research. So, if you have crossed that word, or if you have crossed that, um, um, if you have crossed that kind of word, so that's also basic research. Okay, so in addition, these are the comparison. Basic research, it is to expand knowledge, knowledge specific, theory oriented, explanatory, and analytical, then subjective. While applied research, it's for solution driven, practical oriented, action oriented, and synthetic, and objective method. Research parameters. Let's now go to research parameters. When we talk of research, this should be it should what we call that, it should met the parameters to really call the research as a research. Okay, first is its reliability. The research has to be free from individual biasing and no individual preferences. Which is which? And because, let's say, for example, in the Philippines, um, let's say, for example, we have this research entitled "Who K-pop versus J-pop." Okay, so which is the more dominant in the Philippines? So if you are a researcher, it should be free from biasing or preferences. K-pop lover ka, baka magkaroon din ng bias. Kasi baka yung i-ano mo lang, i-check mo lang o respond mo lang ay yung mga K-pop lover din kasi para makuha mo yung magandang results. Okay? So, hindi ganon. It should be free from individual preferences. Next, objectivity. In process and design, it facilitates testing and it reduces the chances of arriving at individually preferred or biased options. So, it shouldn't be subjective. Mas gusto ko kasi to. Okay? So, hindi pwedeng ganon. It should be objective. Then, its validity. It must have applicability of the results, stretching to various time frames and in similar constraints. We cannot say that yung research o yung taong tinanong mo noon or the research respondents like noon, like 10 years ago, will have the same answer sa mga tao ngayon. Okay? It should be valid. Or also the time frame. So if you if you do your research 10 years ago and compare today, di na yun siya magiging valid. Next is suitability. Findings of the research must match with the problems and the objectives suggested at the beginning. Baka nag-iba, biglang nag-iba yung um, baka biglang nag-iba yung question, yung tanong mo, yung result mo, 'di ba? So iba na 'yon. Then we have the research variables. I will not go through with this one long, pero let me show you what are the research variables. When we talk of variables, these are the component, element, or anything that can change or vary. The use of variables in research talks about classifying them into the causative variables and then noticing the impact of factors to be studied in the resulting output. We have these research variables: dependent variable, independent variable, moderator variables, control variables. When we talk of dependent variable, it is the variable that being tested and measured in the experiment, and it's dependent on the independent variable. Okay, so let's have this. Is marijuana effective for the pain reduction? People with chronic pain. So medical marijuana is the dependent variable here. Next is for the independent variable. When we talk of independent, these are controlled variables, or these are controlled, introduced, or manipulated by the researcher. Intervening variable. These variables impact the relationship between an independent example, understanding the association between income and longevity. So having money doesn't make one live longer. So these variables that intervene are better quality of life, access to more comforts, and better health care, which in turn increase longevity. Moderator variables. This affects the independent and dependent association or relation by modifying or altering the effect of typical moderator variables are in student understanding, for example, includes gender, age, and IQ levels. Then we have the control variables. These variables have no direct impact on the results, okay? And the last but not the least, extraneous variables. When we talk of extraneous, it refers to the factors in the environment which may have an effect on the dependent variables but cannot be controlled by the researcher. Let's say, for example, natural disasters. Um, Such as flood, whatever is that are extraneous variables. So research process consists of sequence of actions, so or steps necessary to carry out research and the desired progression effectively. So we have first identification of the research problem, second literature review, then third hypothesis formulation, fourth preparation of research design. Then followed by number 5 determining sample design, then data collection, analysis of data and hypothesis testing, the generalization and interpretation, and the last one is the report writing or the presentation of results. So, what's the implication of this? What research means to me? Why is it important? As I have said in the beginning of my report, in everything that we do in our lives today is somewhat a manifestation of research. So, we're doing research. We just don't know that it's a research, but we're doing it. It is just not it's just not formal, but we do research we do research sa araw-araw, okay? And research is very important to for us to know what's the uh, for us to know, um, to expand our knowledge. This is important because it's part of the improvement. Okay? Hindi pwedeng yung research, hindi pwedeng yung knowledge na pinanghahawakan mo ngayon ay yung ay knowledge pa siya shared 10 years or 5 years ago. Okay, nagkakaroon ng pagbabago-bago. So it is very important s- to search, to do it again and again so that we will know what's the trend. So that we will know what's the latest. Okay? Just as neto lang my student asked me if what is the most populous country in the world. And course, based doon sa module na I presented or was written 2 years ago, the very first there is China. Okay, yun yung pinaka populous country as to that date. Pero, my, but latest or just currently, when we research, wow, hindi na pala China ang pinaka-populous city, populous country na overpower na siya ng India. Okay, so dalawa lang naman sila, first and the second. Yung noon, China is the most populous, followed by India. But then now, hindi na po. It's India na. So, 'di ba? That's the importance of research. We have to really embrace that research is important in our lives. So this is the case study I read from the research of Godefroy Flatfot Nieves, or how to measure the status quo bias. Okay? A while ago, I mentioned there the parameters of research, though it should be objectivity and validity dapat ay yung ano siya, hindi siya dapat bias. Wala dapat preferences. Okay, so this is the abstract. The status quo bias describes an individual preferences to avoid changes and maintain the current situations. In today's world, technological advances require nearly constant change within organizations. Thus, SQB can become an issue when it hinders progress. In addition, um, therefore, it is crucial to understand how this effect can be reliably measured and, even more importantly, what countermeasures to employ. Prior research has focused more on individual measuring approaches and less on countermeasures. So, as researchers across different research fields have studied this bias, we conduct a literature review spanning different scholarly fields. This broader research focus allows us to identify 4 measurements and 13 countermeasures along the three aspects of cognitive misperception, rational decision making, and psychological commitment of SQB. So our overview consolidates existing knowledge and will hopefully be starting point for the researchers. Okay. Successful and proven countermeasures can, for example, increase the acceptance of adoption of digital innovation and technology in the general, and thereby allow organizations to capitalize on their investment. So these are my references. NIAC 20 Fundamentals of Research, Methodologies and Prospect, Fundamentals of Research 2020, okay, Creswell, Song, and Caldwell and Scotch. Okay, so these are my research. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something. This is Mary Ann and Palima, Maed Sped Area 5.